Thank you for joining us for another episode of Water Talk. I'm Doug Davis, your host, and we are sponsored by EcoloBlue. EcoloBlue manufactures atmospheric water generators. These are machines that make water from air, so you can be water independent. You can make your own water and not have to rely on municipal water or even well water if your well's going dry. You can be off-grid and have the machine solar powered. There's a lot of solutions for the technology that we offer, and we invite you to do some research on us at EcoloBlue.com, EcoloBlue.com. And you can learn about our machines that can produce up to 8 gallons a day, or our industrial units that can go all the way up to 1,600 gallons a day. But today we have a guest on our show by the name of Joel Hedgepeth. And Joel is a former research director of applied biosciences. He's also a former science director at BioAg Industrial Corporation. He holds patents in organic soil technologies and alternative agricultural design. And he's the co-founder of Mobius Co Creations. Joey, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Good to see you. Good to be here.
So tell me, Mobius Co Creations, what exactly is all of that? Just let me have it.
Well, it's a lot of things. What we're trying to do is take a lot of the technologies that are already out there and improve them, reduce cost, to allow for people to grow food at home.
So, what type of technologies are we talking?
Several. They all kind of fall under the category of aeroponics, hydroponics, and aquaponics, which is growing fish and vegetables.
So various irrigation type technologies, is that fair to say?
Yeah, it all has to do with the reduction of water usage.
Okay.
That is probably the primary force behind these technologies.
Okay. So what would be some of the applications that you're finding are most popular?
A lot of people are doing it at home, growing their own food.
So would these be called urban farmers?
Urban farmers.
Okay.
Right, exactly. And the great thing about it is you can grow a lot more in a lot less area, and that goes to larger applications as well. As you get into the inner cities, you have very limited space to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get any kind of vegetables into those cities, which we're now calling urban deserts, because we're not able to get these kind of green vegetables and healthy foods there.
Right.
It takes a lot of energy. And it takes a lot of energy to get the water there as well, because all the water is mechanized. So it's very expensive. And so technology like yours is very interesting to this whole industry. One good reason that just comes right off the top of the head is you look at vertical farming, you're looking for less weight because you're using either existing infrastructure or you're having to build some type of a structure to support whatever mechanisms you're using. With technology like yours, you're able to utilize water right out of the air in a very lightweight system.
Right.
And the other
So when you're so vertical farming, explain what that is in case someone is watching this thing or they're not familiar with that.
Well, you can grow indoors and outdoors. You can stack. Let's say you're growing on 10 acres of land, you can reduce that to about 1 acre.
Wow.
And you can go up and you can do 10 acres vertically. And you can utilize various different technologies there, including solar to help, and LED lighting.
So this is becoming more popular, isn't it?
It is. It is. Well,
and
it's
some
becoming,
people are,
it's essential.
Yeah,
It
and
truly
some
is.
people are using these types. I mean, I've heard about people that are putting vertical farms in their backyard, and they're using fish basins, like a ponding basin
Sure.
at the bottom. Is that right? So then, I guess the fish waste in the water is the nitrogen
Exactly.
that is used to then filter up.
Yes.
So there's going to be evaporation there. So they're going to have some water loss in that process.
Sure.
And then that's where we can come in with our product and our technology and help replenish
Reclaim
that water water
Exactly.
loss.
Yeah, and you can reclaim it in a closed system, and it's all going to try to close these systems, close the loop on these systems. So you're not having to bring in other water from other areas, which again utilizes a great deal of resources that we could be applying to other areas.
And not only that, I mean, they're using whatever water is currently available to them. It's more than likely it's municipal water. Is that correct?
Correct.
So then they're going to be dealing with all the various contaminants that are
Sure.
within that municipal water.
Right.
What challenges do you come across with that?
Well, you have one of the issues is chlorine and biologicals in the water. So there's a lot of the more control you have over the water that you're utilizing, the better. And the nice thing about these technologies is they use probably about 95% less water than conventional agriculture. So you're able to utilize a technology like yours, where you might not be able to in a conventional sense. You can in this arena because you're using less water.
Right.
So you can utilize a product like yours that can bring in a smaller amount of water that is a purified water and is exactly what's called for these types of
Yeah, if they're getting the water from the air, they're not going to have the contaminants, the chlorine, the fluoride, I mean, whatever else might be in their municipal water. What about the effect that the traditional water source has on the actual equipment that's being used? The lines, the drippers.
Right. Well, you can get clogging and things of that nature, which, already you have a cost factor built into these types of systems that until this point has made it very difficult to expand this technology. But what we're doing is we're bringing technologies in that are much simpler technologies, very much like yours. And I see a marriage between these types of technologies where you are bringing in kind of, I wouldn't say necessarily low tech, but things that are simple processes and combining them to create an excellent way to produce food and also to help offset some of the damage that we have to our drinking water supply.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm curious when they're running a traditional water source through the hydroponic line or the aeroponic line or the technologies that you have, if the water is hard water, is that what causes maybe the calcium in the water that you get buildup in the drippers, and now you've got ongoing maintenance costs, replacing parts, replacing drippers.
Right.
Where if you had a more purified source, then you're gonna not have to deal with that so much. Is that fair to say?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and also you're not having storage issues because you don't have to store quite as much. You can replenish as you need it. Whereas a lot of the designs for vertical farming, you're having to store water, and you're also having to store it in areas where on top of substructures that may not support as much water as you might need.
Oh, so now you're getting into weight
to
issues.
replenish. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is one of the big issues. Water and weight are the two big issues with aeroponics.
So we have many solutions for these types of applications.
Exactly.
That's great. How would you describe an aeroponic? That's new to me. Exactly. How would you define what that is?
It's a soilless growing procedure where you have roots of a plant that are suspended in a chamber, and then with hydroponics, they are fed by flooding and draining a container that gets nutrients and water to the plant. And in aeroponics, you're actually atomizing the water and nutrients, so which is much more beneficial because you're also getting oxygen in there as well. And the plant can take that nutrient up much more readily.
So the water that's not being used, is that just evaporating?
Some of it is evaporating, and then it will. You can collect that water and reuse it over and over again.
Kind of like a rainwater collection type system.
Exactly.
I can see where the loss would call for us to replenish that evaporated loss at least.
Right. And in our industry, one of the things that we are also doing that is beneficial in conventional farming, you have a lot of chemicals that are going into the water, particularly nitrogen fertilizers, and using those, it's really a wasteful process because you are not only having to utilize something that is expensive to produce, but part of that is volatilizing off into the atmosphere, about 30% of it. So you're actually losing some of the nitrogen value of what.
Wow.
Whereas in aeroponics, you're able to reclaim that, and you don't use nearly as much. Like I said, it's about 95% less water and about 95% less of the fertilizers that you would.
Wow.
Need.
So it sounds like a much more efficient way to grow whatever it is you're looking to grow then.
No question.
So if someone wanted to get in touch with you and learn more about these technologies on how they can be more efficient in growing their farming produce or or anything else that they're looking to grow through your technologies, how would they best reach you?
Probably our website is the best way, MobiusCoCreations.com, or you can reach us directly at 559-978-0032.
There you go.
The revolution in water resource management is here. Introducing EcoloBlue's atmospheric water generators. EcoloBlue's generators are able to take humidity right out of the atmosphere and turn that humidity into the cleanest drinking water that you can get. Everyday tap water contains thousands of different particles in it. However, EcoloBlue's generators not only filter out many of these particles, but they add minerals to your water to make sure you have the purest drinking water available. EcoloBlue is both economically sound as well as environmentally safe. Why pay outrageous prices for bottled water when you can pay just 20 cents per gallon with EcoloBlue? In addition to saving money, you'll also be saving the environment. Unlike bottled water companies that produce tons of plastic waste that harms our planet, EcoloBlue's products produce little to no waste. With EcoloBlue, you now have more options for the use of your water than ever before. In addition to the hot and cold functions to your generator, you now have the ability to carbonate your water. Enjoy making soda water right in the comfort of your own home. Having EcoloBlue is now essential when being prepared for any emergency. Each day, 850 water mains break in North America alone. Add on natural disasters such as droughts, hurricanes, and earthquakes, having the ability to be water independent is more important than ever. With EcoloBlue, you're no longer dependent on traditional sources for water. From our smaller home-sized generators to our industrial-sized generators, EcoloBlue has a solution for any situation. And now with our new solar panel kits, you can be truly water independent. Assert your water independence. Thousands of businesses and families across America have been enjoying pure drinking water for years thanks to EcoloBlue. To get more information, visit our website at EcoloBlue.com or call us at 1-800-691-6043.